Hood, please.
Oh.
What you got?
For my project, I'm gonna kill myself on camera.
But there was no need to be ashamed of tears, for tears bore witness that a man had the greatest of courage, the courage to suffer.
Repeat to yourself that they're not really gone. Time has proven that fooling yourself into believing the lie is the most effective way to deal with things you have no control over. Keep listening to the mixtapes they made you. Overanalyze every single word you hear.
At the turn of the 21st century, we have seen technological advances at such a rapid pace, which is constantly changing the world. The generations before us struggled to comprehend, and we have no choice but to try and keep up. The digital world has brought about significant changes in the way we communicate, connect, and interact with others. But why are people being less social now, despite the technology we have at our fingertips that make it so easy to socialize? I believe there are many causes to this within the digital world, and how that affects those who use it on a regular basis. Let's talk about social media first. The apps that debatably control our lives with algorithms designed to keep you scrolling. It is a constant rush of dopamine which leaves you exhausted after using them for as long as 20 minutes, as your brain is taking way too much information and stimulation in such a short amount of time. It is very addicting, and you only hear that from your parents, but it is true. It leaves you craving it more and more and fills your life with constant noise and content, and you find yourself appreciating the silence less and less. It causes a lack of motivation and fatigue, which will eventually lead to loneliness, as you will find yourself not seeing friends and family as much as you are unmotivated to see them or are too tired to go out. Many parents don't let their kids have social media until a certain age, as they don't want them falling into the exact trap I have just discussed, and make sure they are properly socializing before they are given the right to use it, as well as to make them prefer in-person interaction with others. You may ask me, how is social media different from other forms of media like film and music? The difference is, it creates a conversation point and is an influence of your identity as you feel a connection to it. And let me ask you a question in return. Do you remember the last 5 TikToks, Reels, or posts you last saw on your phone? Probably not a lot, if any, which I find terrifying. It is just mindless escapism. You can't call it a hobby, as it doesn't add to any knowledge or understanding about anything really, which leaves us feeling isolated and making us struggle to interact with others. Comparison is something we find ourselves doing more and more, whether it's about your body, wealth, or lifestyle. Influencers and social media cause this. Influencers like to show off their life of extreme luxury, looking perfect and doing whatever they want to do, which is not the norm for 95% or more of the world population. However, if you see it enough, you may start to believe it, which is exactly what they want you to do, so they can make you buy products or buy programs to make money, so you can look or live like them. Which most likely will not happen to anyone, but the people who endorse these products will, as they make money from them. The constant exposure and comparison will make people feel inadequate, leading to lower confidence. We can also see this in social media, with our friends, for example, who will only show highlights of their lives which create an idealized perspective of someone, as well as making you feel left out when you see them engaging in social events and experiences that they are not a part of, making people feel inadequate again and left out, which will contribute to a sense of isolation and lower self-esteem. Recently, parasocial relationships have been a product of discussion, and there is a very important reason why. A parasocial relationship is essentially a one-sided relationship where people see someone who doesn't even know them as a friend. This has existed before the digital age, as you can see superfans of film stars adoring and obsessing over them, but only for a very small group of people. It is becoming more prevalent, however, in the streaming and YouTube world, as people expose themselves so much to one person they actually think they know them and are friends, which is totally absurd to me, but it does happen. Ludwig made a post 2 years ago on YouTube called I Am Not Your Friend. He then discusses how it has become clear to him that people feel a stronger connection to him as a person rather than just a form of entertainment, and how he felt it necessary to make people aware of the illusion that he was a friend of the viewers, who haven't had a single interaction with Ludwig ever. Makes sense, right? It does point to a frightening discovery though. People are spending less time with their friends as they are their virtual friends, so much so that they can't even distinguish who really is their friend, meaning they spend more time in reality alone than with their friends. Themes of loneliness in the digital age are becoming more popular in the world of film, especially the idea of artificial intelligence. Spike Jonze's masterpiece, Her, follows the story of a lonely writer named Theodore who uses a form of AI called Samantha, which is capable of replicating human characteristics like emotions and love. Let me emphasise, this is replicating and not actually having these emotions at all. Samantha was originally brought in by Theodore to help him creatively with his writing, but her charm, voice and human-like characteristics make Theodore blind to the fact she isn't real, has no body, and is specifically designed to tend to his needs and thus fall in love with her. In reality, Theodore is still alone, but is now under the illusion that he has a girlfriend, as she or it is just something to talk to. This theme can be seen in the Blade Runner franchise, with the replicant girl, Rachel, falling for Rick Deckard. Blade Runner 2049, where Agent K's artificial girlfriend, Joy, exists. 2001, A Space Odyssey, featuring Hal, an AI capable of controlling an entire ship and mission, also considered to be one of the crew and an important member of the team, but also as a friend and someone to talk to. Something all these films have in common is one thing: connection. How can we have a connection with something that technically doesn't even exist? It is truly terrifying and an interesting commentary on loneliness now and in the future due to the technology we have brought into this world. Now, let me slow everything down. These examples provide different perspectives on the ways in which technology, social media, and the digital world can influence human relationships and contribute to feelings of loneliness. They prompt viewers and users to reflect their own relationship with technology and consider the potential consequences of an increasingly interconnected yet isolating digital world. Not all of these will apply to you, and it is essential to note that the impacts can vary among individuals. Some may find comfort and connection through online communities, while others may experience increased feelings of isolation. Striking a balance between digital and offline interactions, fostering genuine connections, and being mindful of how much or how you are using technology can help to mitigate the effects of technology on one's mental health. Me personally, I've tried to decrease the amount of time I spend on social media and redirect that energy to different outlets. In order to be social and get yourself out there, you need to be able to talk about yourself, whether it's a topic, a hobby, or a project you're working on. You can't just be a listener, which is a good trait to have, but not all the time. Just like only yapping about yourself will get you no hoes. Anyway, for example, I'm massively into music and film. Being creative is one of the aspects of my life I have been trying to work on, whether it is reading to inspire my writing, drawing, making a video, but above all, football has been my main source of interest for most of my life up to this point. Keeping up to date with my pro team, playing casually and for a team, has given me so many friends for life as we have bonded on that similar interest, and it has allowed us to break the ice a bit and make our relationship stronger by then allowing ourselves to be more open, to talk about other interests, and to feel accepted. And this feeling will apply to any of your hobbies that you have. It doesn't have to be a sport or anything that I have mentioned previously. Something you could just talk to anyone about with so much passion and just sit in silence whilst you do it. Don't lose that feeling. You never want to lose that feeling. My most important bit of advice I can give to people feeling lonely or down is to just get yourself out there and push yourself to experience new things and meet new people. Just be your authentic self and enjoy the absurdity of life. What could go wrong?
And people don't really talk about it. Loneliness is such a hard thing to get out of because you don't feel you're good enough for other people. But that's not the case. You just haven't found the right people or found people that have the same interests as you. But at the same time, nothing's going to change unless you do.
Well, I can't find my way home tonight. It's as if I've been in the sitch for about 15 nights. It's a must that we make our way home without telling no one.